Hey guys, how's it going? So this was not the video I was planning to make today, but I've been seeing something going around Twitter and I just really wanted to address it. So that's what I'm doing today. Over the last week or so, I have seen a number of tweets talking about following your dreams and the sacrifices to make to follow your dreams. I'm not going to show the specific tweets, I'm not going to say any names because there's enough negativity going around. I don't want anyone to go direct anymore at anybody. One of them was about taking out a big loan to get your book published, and there was another one about how you should quit your job and put everything into your dreams and imagine the world's ending, and if it doesn't end, you can always get another job, you can never get another dream, and all this stuff. And I just want to say I strongly disagree. Now, I'm not saying you're not allowed to quit your job to pursue your dreams. If you have the means to do that and you choose to do that because that is what makes you happy, fine. But if you don't have the means to do that, if you don't have, a significant other with a high-paying job or a huge bucket full of savings to fall back on, if you have to pay your bills, keep a roof over your head, feed your pets, don't sacrifice absolutely everything. I think people romanticize this idea of sacrificing absolutely everything for your dream and suffering for your art, and I really think that's a harmful mindset. Newsflash, we don't have to be depressed to be writers or artists or musicians. Most of us are, but that's beside the point. You're allowed to be happy and follow your dreams. You're allowed to be responsible and follow your dreams. You're allowed to take a break if you need to and follow your dreams. Another reason why I think this mindset is so harmful, aside from the consequences of, the sacrifice and the risk and whatnot, but it makes a lot of other people who can't or won't make those same choices beat themselves up because they feel like they're not committed enough to their dreams or their goals. If you are trying to make progress towards your goals, you are chasing your dream, even if trying to make progress is just willing yourself to get out of bed in the morning, or thinking about it, or taking care of yourself and taking that break if you need to. Like I said, if you're willing and able to put more on the line, you can, but you're not a failure if you keep working your full-time job while you write. You're not a disappointment if you won't sell your house and live out of your car. No. And we shouldn't be pressuring people and shaming people into being irresponsible. I'm not saying you have to put your dreams on the back burner and focus on the 9-to-5 job that you hate. I'm not saying that you are a bad person and a bad role model if you do choose to use your credit card or take out a small loan for things. I do think that's financially irresponsible depending on your situation, but that's beside the point. What I disagree with is telling other people who you don't know their situation to do that as well. It's mostly because I see this on Twitter, so it's not specific people giving advice to specific other people, that they know or that they understand their circumstances and everything that entails. It's people just shouting it to the masses saying, hey, everybody, you should all do this. And that is absolutely ridiculous, and I think that's just harmful and stupid and irresponsible. There is no shame at all in saying you're not willing to risk everything. Because I'm a wrestling fan, this makes me think of Nigel McGuinness. He is a retired British wrestler. He did the indie circuit, then he moved to America to pursue his dream of working for the WWE. He got a tryout with them. When they asked him about his medical history, he told them that he had, I think it was a torn bicep, but that it wasn't causing him problems, and his doctor said that it wasn't bad enough to need to do anything about it. WWE disagreed, their doctors weren't so sure, and they wanted him to have the surgery. He didn't have insurance, he had just moved to a new country, he didn't have enough savings, so he decided to work for smaller promotions instead and do that. Then he got sick, he lost his job at those companies. So his choice was to either go back home to the UK, work on the indie circuit, or retire, or do something else, or, sell his home, sell his car, get this big expensive surgery, and also not be able to work for a number of months to get a chance to try out for WWE and chase his dream. And he decided not to. He decided that it wasn't worth the risk, and he decided to go back home and retire from professional wrestling. Now, I'm not saying that he never regretted his choice or he never looked back. Like, I know for a fact that he felt very bitter and disappointed in himself for a while after that, because especially when you're in the public eye like a professional wrestler, and he was one of the best technical wrestlers in the UK, which is saying something. He for a little while was known as the guy who had to give up on his dreams, and that is not easy, but there is a happy ending. He got involved with doing commentary for smaller indie promotions, and eventually he got a call from the WWE when they were doing their UK tournament asking him if he would come be a commentator for it, because they wanted somebody from the UK to participate in it. And they loved what he did. They offered him a job. He's now one of their full-time commentators on a number of shows. He now gets to work with all of these young talents and teach them and train them and show them how to do all this. And it's not the road that he meant to take to reach his dream, but he achieved his goal, and he's happy now and he's successful. Now, I know that's just one example, but I don't know, I always think of him when I think about people sacrificing everything for their goals and putting everything on the line, because you don't have to. And like I said, I know that we romanticize this idea of this big, self-sacrifice, and then you're at an all-time low and you come up on top and you sell your book for $1 billion, and now you live in a mansion even though a month ago you were living on the streets. And that's not real life. That stuff can happen to your characters maybe, but unfortunately we live in the real world with real responsibilities and real consequences, and that's not realistic. And on the same note, don't feel ashamed if you have to change or adjust your dreams and goals. We hear all about people who have had this big dream or goal that they've been chasing ever since they were young, and in elementary school they knew what they wanted to do and they've been fighting this whole time. You're allowed to change your mind. And I know that's not something that we say often, and a lot of times people don't. If you've been committed to something for so long, eventually it becomes part of you and that remains your dream. But sometimes you realize this isn't making you happy anymore, and it's okay. Like, I have a couple friends who went to university and got their degrees and were able to find jobs in their field and realized they hated it. Now, do you stay in that job that you hate, in that life that you hate, just because it was your dream? Or do you adjust your dream, adjust your life, and find a new passion? And I think that's a very personal choice for everybody to make on their own. But I think that especially with writers and artists and musicians, it's not an easy life. It is not an easy career. For the vast majority of people, you can't sustain yourself on that. And that's just an unfortunate reality. And if you're pursuing that, and then you realize it's not making you happy anymore, it's making you more stressed out, the pros aren't outweighing the cons anymore, it's okay to step back. It's okay to change your mind entirely if that's what you need to do. Like, I really do believe in chasing your dreams and working really hard to achieve your goals. And I'm not saying to just willy-nilly, whatever happens, happens with them. But I feel like sometimes we get so focused on that we don't even acknowledge that there's an alternative. Maybe you put your writing on hold for a year and work really, really hard and get a big savings account so that you can take a year off work just to focus on your writing. That's okay. If you can't do that, also okay. Basically, I'm just saying not everybody can or will want to make these same decisions, and I don't think that we should be forcing this idea on other people. So don't ever feel bad that you're not working hard enough for your dreams. Don't ever beat yourself up because you're not committed enough. Like, we all take such different paths to get to the destination, especially in the writing and art industries, because it's just such a different experience for absolutely everybody. So don't compare yourself to other people. Don't put yourself down because of what other people are saying. It's nonsense, it's ridiculous, and don't beat yourself up for anything. But if you choose not to sacrifice absolutely everything for your dream, you are still allowed to dream. You are not a failure, you are not a disappointment, you are completely valid, you are still chasing a dream in the way that you can. This video was super rambly, and I know that I repeated myself and followed tangents a couple times, but I really just wanted to put that out there. You know, don't let people tell you that you're not a real writer because you also have a 9-to-5 job. Chase your dreams however you can and however you want to, and that is enough, and you are valid, and forget what everyone else says. This life is hard enough, don't make it harder on yourself. Anyway, that's all for today. I'll go back to normal videos after this. I just really needed to get that off my chest and address it. So I hope to see you guys next time, and in the meantime, have a great day. Bye!